Everybody, welcome back. I am jumping straight into this sketchbook session here. I'm starting off with putting in some marks using a Neocolor 2 crayon in the color Night. And then I'm going in with some water and I'm dissolving those marks and leaving a little bit, which you can see through here. I'm starting off intuitively. But as soon as I put this down, that blue color, it's like I get a feeling of, yes, I want this to be a landscape. It's something that I feel really comfortable with and something that I enjoy doing a lot. So it feels like this was just a natural thing to happen. And I wasn't thinking about this. I wasn't starting off this session thinking, oh, I'm going to make a landscape or anything like that. It was just one of those things that came up. So I'm starting out by laying in this pinkish color and these warmer tones of sort of lightened yellow ochre and sandy colors. On my palette, I have Cad Red Medium, Ultramarine Blue, Yellow Ochre, White, and Black. So those are the colors that I'm working with. I was working on some portraits yesterday and I happened to have those on my palette, and so I just continued to go with that. So the only other color comes in from using the Neocolor 2s. So I'm continuing to build up my layers here. And I'm going all over with the different colors so that there's variety and it helps to give texture as well, and just is really nice with the different colors. I'm using this technique of just applying my color here and then using a sheet of paper to press down and pull up, and it makes neat texture. And also I love the texture that it makes on the piece of paper itself, and I will often collect those for later use in different collages and just having fun in my art journal with them. So I'm going into the back here with a sort of a muter, lighter green color. And you can see it's a little bit strange because it kind of looks like there's an abrupt like rectangle sort of on the right side of the page where the blue is lower on the left side and then boom, it goes up like that. And I do want to address that, and I will, you'll see in a bit here. But first I'm going into the sky. And I am working with a very like kind of crappy scrubby brush. So that's why I'm just really going and scrubbing in with it. I don't mind if it, gets more wrecked because I am not very good with my brushes. I tend to be very hard on them and I really love to like scrub away with them. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just adding in some more blue. These are mixes of ultramarine blue, white, and like either a little bit of black or some of the sort of pinky color that is in the foreground there, mixing that in with that. Like that color there, it's got a little bit of a purpliness to it. And then I'm just adding in some lighter, and you can see here it's not a solid color. There's a lot of variety in the brush stroke, which gives it a nice movement, and it kind of gives it a sense of maybe there's a little bit of stormy sky coming or something like that. I'm really not thinking too much about anything like that. I'm just kind of letting this go. And I do have, I have done quite a lot of landscapes. So it's one of these things where you might just kind of be on autopilot and just letting things happen and go as they are. So you can see here that I'm going back into the sky, making it even a little bit darker, a little more dramatic, adding in that white. It was a little too dark for me. And I like the brush strokes and the brush marks that this scrubby brush makes when, it's gotten rid of a little bit of the paint out of the bristles. It really adds to the kind of movement of this particular piece, which is really nice. Now, again, I'm not really thinking too much about what's going on here, just kind of putting in the sky and letting it all happen. I do really like the way that it's turned out. I feel like it's nice and I'll say flowy. So I'm going into the foreground now to try to get that, on par with the sky. And that was using a Neocolor 2 there just to make a little bit of marks. I will list all of the colors of the Neocolor 2 that I use in this piece. I think there's probably about 7 or 8 different colors. That one there, I believe, was eggplant, and it's a nice sort of a warmer purple. And it's kind of nice to get that variety in a landscape, just putting in a little bit of a different color that's a bit unexpected in the grassy area. Okay, so here I am trying, this is the part now where I'm trying to fix that sort of rectangle area so it doesn't have that sudden transition from the back there into the mountains. It's more going to be harmonious and blended, I'll say. I'm putting in more grassy colors and making it a little bit softer as well to harmonize it with the rest of the piece. That is a Neocolor in Sahara Rose, and it's a very light peachy color. It's a really nice color for landscapes. And I was just harmonizing that there because you can see there's peachy colors in the foreground. So again, I'm continuing to fix up this area here, and it'll take a few passes to make it look a little bit better and more of a smooth transition with the rest of the painting. So I'm adding in some different green, and you'll notice that I'm not just applying a huge swath of this green and all the colors that I'm using. Really, I'm kind of going in different spots with it. It just helps to give you a more interesting piece, especially in a landscape. You know, sometimes you put in a huge block of green all over your field, and it just is kind of overwhelming. Whereas if you go in with your color in different spots and do it like that and adding it up layer on layer, then it really gives a very interesting look to it. Especially, you know, if you were seeing this in person, you could really see the nice layers peeking through, and it creates a lot of visual interest. So I do want to make this foreground a little bit darker. And you'll see as I go through this piece that I will continue to kind of do that, putting a little bit more darkness in the front. And that will help to create a sense of depth, but also, you know, it'll give the contrast. You do want a nice light and dark contrast in your piece. It just makes it a little more interesting to look at. And that's something that I'm always keeping on my mind in any painting, even if it's not a landscape. I always look at the value contrast because that's one of the biggest things that you can really see in a painting and something that you will notice right away. So this is what I meant by adding more dark in. I'm using mixes here of Ultramarine Blue, Yellow Ochre, and a little bit of black and possibly a little bit of red as well. That is a Neocolor 2 in Payne's Gray, and I'm adding that in just as like a suggestion of trees or shrubbery, that sort of a thing. With this being an abstract landscape, you know, it's wonderful because you don't have to add in these fussy details, and you can just let the mind fill in what it thinks is there. And of course, it's different for everybody else, or for every person who looks at it. So it's something that's nice you can keep in mind. I don't have to make things perfect or get every detail in, especially in an abstract piece. So there, I'm going back into the back and just making things a little softer in the back, making that transition nice and smooth. When you compare before to how it was with that pink area when it was the, you know, the rectangle shape, like I said, this is much smoother, and it gives it a really nice soft feeling, and the overall feeling back there is nice and soft, and it really helps to give the depth perception to the piece. And here's the really dark part. That's my darkest mix that I go into in this piece. ultramarine blue, a tiny bit of yellow ochre, and black, so very dark green. And then going in with the Neocolor 2, this is an eggplant again, so getting some more of that nice warmer purple in. When you have a lot of green in a piece, I do like to put in, you know, a warmer tone like an eggplant, or, you know, some sort of a sienna type thing, burnt sienna, just to get that red in there, which helps to break up all the green and make it a little more visually interesting. So here I am using one of my favorite brushes for mark making. It's very splayed and it's almost like a little bit of a fork tooth brush. So I use that to create a little bit of interest. This color here, I believe it is salmon, or it's salmon-like anyway. And again, it just adds in that little bit of pink, so you get the pop against the green, which I really like. This color here, it's light olive, 40%. This is found in the Neocolor 30 set. That's the set that I had first got. It was the 30 pieces of the crayons, and it's a fairly bright set. It has a lot of very bright colors in it. This is Prussian blue here. So I did end up purchasing probably about 8 other extra Neocolors individually that go well with landscapes. Ones that are in a little bit more muted colors, or maybe more nuanced colors, you would say. Here's yellow ochre. I'm adding that in. You can see I've put a lot of stuff in the foreground. Now it doesn't need to be like that at all. You could easily have gone in and did this, you know, sort of a warm yellow, little bit of yellow green, and that would have been really nice. Just a nice simple landscape. I'm just having a lot of fun here. I love adding in the crayons. I think this is one of my favorite parts about you know, working in this sort of manner. I just love adding in the crayon. In some ways, I almost prefer it to painting. I find it easier somehow if I look and I see a bunch of crayons out in a box and see the colors out in front of me. I almost find it a bit easier to pick out what I think is the color, a good color, than if I have to sort of imagine it in my mind. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's how it is. I don't love mixing colors, but having said that, I do feel like for myself it's helped a lot using a limited palette to get better at color mixing. So I'm going in with this Neocolor. This is the lightest blue that they have available, and I really like this color. I'm just adding in some touches, and we're at the end of the piece here. I had a lot of fun. I'm just going to put in a tiny bit of extra little flicks of this color in the foreground to sort of tie it in. And I don't know if I really needed to do it, but you know, it was fun just to add it in. And overall, this piece was really great. I was able to get out of my mind and just really enjoy myself. So I would say have a go at doing something like this. It's a lot of fun. You don't need these crayons. You could easily just use paints to do it. And it really is such a fun exercise. So there we are. This is the end of the video, and this is the end of the piece. Thank you so much for watching.